guys, welcome back to the next video. This will be a very quick video about the new update that came out a few days ago. I know this is a late video, but there are a few things that I want to cover about the chip system that kind of I'm not a huge fan of. So let's dive right into it. And first of all, let's go to the chip system. So if you go to your beast, you look at the chip is now unlocked. You need to be at level 24 shelter to unlock this. Otherwise it will look like this gene feature that is locked right now. And if you click on it, you'll see that there are 6 chips that a beast can have. Now each chip will give a certain basic attribute, and when you have the full set, it will give you an array of attributes that will enhance your beast damage and all sorts of things, right? Now you need 60 fragments of each chip type to craft one chip. So you need 360 fragments of correct type to finally have a full set. And additionally, you can see over here that chips of a certain element type can be used on that element beast. For example, you cannot put infantry type armament on a range hero or rider hero. The same goes for this. If you have fire type beast chip, it can only go on fire type beast. You cannot put it on grass or water. So you have to make sure that what type of chip you are getting. And those chips will go on the corresponding body part. For example, the brain will go on the brain, spine on spine, and the paws will go on the left or right paw, whatever mentioned on the chip. So the element type and body part mentioned on the chip both counts for you to equip any chip on any beast, right? Now you can also rank up these chips. You need to have additional 60 fragments to craft a chip and then upgrade it. So you can rank those up. And now when they reach a required level, array of rate can be enhanced. This is something similar to, if you remember, your survivors, that in bond you need all the survivors of that particular bond to be at a certain level to basically upgrade whatever the bond attribute they give. It is practically the same thing for beast as well. Now the last thing, which is I would say the most problematic thing that they did, is support biochemical beast chip will give the buff effects based on their inheritance level. So if you go on your technology and whatever say inheritance level you have unlocked, like whatever total your inheritance level is, your support beast attribute will get added to your overall pair attributes, right? Another thing you can see over here is support beast. If they have any array effect activated, then that will get activated on your leader beast as well. So this is where support based chips become even more important. So now if you think about it, you have 5 squads. Each squad has 2 beasts to make a pair. You need to make 6 chipsets for each of those beasts. So total you need 10 chipsets complete to actually have all your 5 squads with proper gear to bring them out on the field. Now next thing is you need additional chips to rank those chips up. This is where I think this is going a little bit overboard, that you need that many fragments for each chip and then you have to rank them up, and you need for both. Instead of, like, for example, if you had for your squad 2 heroes and armaments of both heroes are going to count, you need 10 sets of armament. It would be insane. Many people don't have proper 5 sets yet, and armaments came out, it's been like more than a year now, I think. But this is like a little bit too much at this point. So going for all 5 squad at once would be like a bad idea. So the way I explained it in my armament video about what is the best way to develop your armament, I'll put the link in the description for that video, you can watch it. But the thought process is going to be the same, where you work on one squad first and then move on to the next squad. Meaning you pick your strongest squad and then you pick the lead beast of that squad, make 6 chips of that, and then move on to the support of that particular beast and then make 6 chips of that and then move on to the next squad. Now many of you will be like, okay, should I rank them up, should I not rank them up? I'd say depending on how close your top 2 squads are in might level, you can and also your spending habit and your role in the team. For example, if you do a lot of garrison or a lot of rally for your team, definitely if you are making the first set for that specific role, ranking them up would be a good idea. Definitely, I will 100% go for that thing. Now that being said, my overall feeling about this update is not that good, because in the earlier days of the game, the power disparity between a no to low, moderate or heavy spenders, it was there. Obviously, it was there, but it wasn't that big. Like, it didn't make you feel like you're useless on the field. But now with all these things got added, like armaments are there, and then you have workshop, now you have beast, now they have chip system, later on they will have this gene feature unlocking. So beast is still not done. There is one more feature that they will unlock, for which they will sell you more stuff for. So the power disparity is becoming way too ridiculous at this point. I understand that the DLS is at the end of the day a business, but right now they are mainly focused on how interested top spenders are to spend a lot in the game. Once those top spenders reach to the point that okay, this is getting too much, or they get bored, or whatever the thing is, or whatever their personal rivalry is, if they slow down, whatever happens, the spending is gonna go drastically down. See, we need to understand that players who spend a lot of money, they are not spending because they are enjoying spending that money. They are spending that money to stay relevant on the field, to dominate on a certain specific role that they are filling in their team. For example, rally captains or garrison captain, whatever. Point being, once these players start to feel like okay, this is getting too much, and to stay on top of that level or whatever they are doing, if it is getting way too much for them, and certainly those players start to slowly dissipate, there's nothing to fall back on, because the people who are low to moderate spender, the gap between the people with max gear and them is just way too much. There's no way a moderate spender is going to spend that much money to become that relevant. So right now game is just banking on how to keep these people who are spending that much to be interested long term, to keep on spending that much. As of now, how things stand, you need to either spend a lot, or you won't be as effective in the team, because those whales who have max gear because of the immigration system, which actually have its benefit too, they are everywhere now and practically dominate the entire map. If they are like, people wait for those people to go to sleep for them to do anything. So it's kind of getting a little bit too much. Game do need to bring out some balance, where if you are spending low to moderate, or if you're not spending, you can be in a team where you have players who are a little bit spenders, to still stay relevant and not just play on a mercy of those people who are spending that much. And on top of everything, anything new that they add, it kind of makes the previous thing that they added a little obsolete in a way. For example, if you have been steadily working to upgrade your armaments, then they launched workshop. Now anybody new who joined the game, they'll be like, armaments will be too much, let's do the workshop. And now they just, the same steady amount that you were spending to get your armaments up, they put it in workshop, and they are gonna beat you in the field at any given day. Same thing now happened with beast. People with better beast are being more effective on the field compared to people with better armaments, or in some case comparable workshop. Now they added chips. All in all, it is kind of a bummer that they keep on adding new stuff without keeping it in balance with the stuff that they already launched. Or maybe I'm just overthinking, I don't know, it's just my point of view and everybody have their own opinion. So this was about the chip system. Sorry about the rant. And we have the second update about Wasteland Challenge being replaced by Biohazard Frenzy. When this event is going to get launched on Monday, I'll go through it and then make a video about it. There's no point talking about it right now, but the couple of things that I can mention right now is point 5 and 6. So the original events of Wasteland Challenge, that was Lethal Breakout and Grand Revival, so they use certain materials like hammer and ammo. So they explained on what basis they have replaced those hammers and ammo with gold and silver coins. So you must have received a mail and they have replaced those items in your bag with the coins. So when Biohazard Frenzy event is gonna come, it will come with a exchange shop that will be alive for 30 days, which means that this particular event will be there for 30 days. You can exchange those gold and silver coins for certain stuff that you want, and after that those coins will be useless, so make sure that you use it. So yeah, then they have this Capybara event. It's just any other event, we have seen plenty of those, I'm not gonna go over that. Next is new rider heroes. Like always, they add new heroes, they're just adding it at a very faster pace now. So yeah, they have those. I might make a video about it, I might not, depends on how many people ask questions about this. Next we have few skins and beast invasion area up to 100. I personally don't know anybody who reached area 70. Maybe there are people like that, but or maybe they're close to that. So again, this is just as you progress, as you get stronger, you will reach a higher level. There is nothing, that concerns us right now. Origin of Beast, they added a new clue store. Many people have already got everything in the first one, so they added phase 2 of that. So yeah, let's go over the skins. So first of all, if you go to skins, you'll see there is a March skin for Underworld Gatekeeper. To be precise, this is a good looking skin, but my view about skins are the same thing, that 1% buff for the amount of money it demands. It's just aesthetics, and I would rather, if I'm spending, I would rather take stuff for my workshop or some other place which will give me more buff than 1%. Again, this is just aesthetic. If you're a collector or you like the way it looks, you can go for it. Personally, if I ever go for another skin, it would be this one. This is pretty dope. But yeah, it's just I like this one more. So this was one skin. Next they have skin for Miyamoto. Now this skin is really cool. I really like this skin. So if you buy any pack right now, no matter the value, you'll get to use this skin for 3 days. And if you go to Miyamoto, you'll see that the whole look of this particular hero is changed. I really like this skin. Now what are the buff of this skin, or what are the things that it brings to you? You can check over here. You'll see that it gives you infantry squad HP by 2%, which is good. HP buff are always good. Other than that, if you click on any skill, if it is getting enhanced, it will show you a button over here. You can compare the previous and the new one, and the damage factor is increased by 500. And earlier, the damage reduction on additional target in the AoE area was 20%, which was 5% more than any range hero per se, right? They have 15%. Now this will be reduced to 10%. So not only you have more damage in a semicircular area, not even a fan shape area, it's a semicircular area. You deal more damage, and you deal more damage to each of those targets. So this is really good. Next is your second skill, where you have 15% squad damage increase compared to 12%, so 3% over there, and HP reduction is 30% instead of 27%. So you get 3% for both over there. Second skill and third skill don't get enhanced, but if you are awakened, then you have 45% squad attack instead of 40, and 3% extra speed. Now if you total this all out, only the stat buff, I'm not going to talk about the speed or the rage skill, just the stat buff is 5% from here, and 3% from here, and 2% your HP, so 10% buff. And this skin is $400. So 10% buff for $400, I'd say, is kind of pretty standard. Your March skin that we just saw, the Underworld Gatekeeper, that is 1% buff. It'll cost you approximately $500-600 compared to 10% buff over here. Even if you use that skin for all 5 squad of yours, still 5%. This is alone 10%. So again, this is pretty standard. 10% buff for $400. I would rather go for this compared to the March skin. That's just my opinion again. So that's another skin. They have added new beast over here, which kind of you can say standardize the whole beast thing. There is a new beast Kirin. If you max this out, you will be able to see that HP is 92,000, attack is 4,400, defense is 4,200. If you compare it to the Sabertooth, HP is higher for Sabertooth, attack is a little low, and defense is also a little low. Point being, this is a rare fire type beast. Now you have 2 legendary, 2 elite. Same goes for water. They made Pluto jellyfish, a rare one, and then they moved these two as legendary, and then we have two elite. Same goes for grass. This deer is now there, and we have two legendary, two elite. They don't have something like that for physical yet, because these two are for rally and garrison, and they are very specific in a way. So they might add two additional beasts for physical for those same type. We don't know that yet, but there's a possibility. So I think with that I did cover everything except for one thing. If you go to Beast Origin Clue Store, they have Phase 2 store, which will give you some things like the chips. So you need 60 of these fragments to craft one. And now with this, I do feel I covered everything that I wanted to cover. And if you have any question, you can definitely reach me in the game. I'm in region 313 Alliance NFG. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon.